thank you, James, for inviting me. I'm very honored. It's great to speak in front of all of you. A bit nervous, but let's go with little 15 minutes presentation on what we do and what we've done so far and what we've learned. A bit about my background. I worked in various verticals in gaming only, not utility apps, casual, casino, and now strategy games. This is a list of things that I'd like to do, and through the experience I developed a passion for all of these things. And one of them I'm happy to practice today with you is sharing knowledge. So I also have a day job, you know it. I work for Space Games, and these are our current live games that we work on. And during that, what I would like to do today, would like to share some of our experiences, what we've done well, what we've done not so well, and what we've learned from it. And let's talk about our latest game, Transformers Earth Wars. We had a new game. We didn't have any downloads or any user base or any dates to look at, and I'm going to talk about how we started. So there's this jungle of different networks where you potentially can advertise and acquire users. Where do you start? Where do you start? Because you don't have the data, you don't have the knowledge, and then every product is different, and every country is different as well, together with platforms. We made a list. We'd like to have user acquisition components, the things that are going to help us focus. We made sure that our products and business goals are aligned. We need to use tools that are important to support our activity. And then we test, apply, and repeat again. Learn from tests, of course, as well. So now we know we need to make sure our product, a game in this case, and business goals are aligned. Because we like to build great games, but those games have to monetize. We need to make that business out of it, and so we can build more games going forward. There are different types of products. This particular one monetizes in-app purchases, like all of you I'm sure know. And then another one could monetize through advertising, where we exchange virtual currency in exchange for users' time to watch videos in our games. And then there's also paid apps as well. I'm going to focus on free-to-play at the moment, because that's where my experience lays. And then you've got the game, and you want to put it live, and you want to bring lots of users, grow your daily active users, and generate revenue. How do you do it effectively? And that's the tricky part. That's when you need tools. You need tools to support your paid activity to make sure you make the most out of the dollars you spend. One of them is tracking tools. In the mobile gaming, we need to make sure that every dollar we spend is actually effective, and we need to make sure that we track and collect data as much as possible so that we serve ads to advertise our product to people who are more likely to enjoy our product. There are paid tracking tools. There are many out there, but these are just a handful that I know a bit about. Then there are free mobile tracking tools as well. There are some limitations with it though. There are a few, those three I know about, there are more of them. Limitations, probably some of you would think, what limitations? So Google is best for Google, obviously, and works best for Google Network. The same with Facebook. Facebook tracking SDK is free, but it works best for Facebook inventory. And Branch tried a little bit, and it works quite well for email tracking and community, social links and things like that, but for UA, not so much. Now we have the product. We have a tracking solution that we have chosen, possibly. And which events do we track? What do we implement? We have a new game, Transformers Earth Wars. We have no data. We don't know what people care about and what events are important to track. So we can then analyze and make decisions based on it to reinvest and reinvest more and more dollars effectively. We didn't know what to do, and we went and brainstormed with our engineers, with our tech team, and came up with, engineers said nothing is impossible. We can implement as many as you like. This is not going to affect our game performance and so on. And we just went and decided to do that. We just implement everything we wanted. If you talk to UA person or anyone from data analytics and say how much data do you want, we want everything. And that was quite lucky and good of our tech team. So after we implemented all of these events and more, this is just a portion of it. There's lots more, I think something like 100 or so. Then we have another question. Which events really matter? Which of this, what events out of selection that we have, what are best predictors of LTV? What are the indicators to help us invest money in user acquisition effectively? Now that we know, we collected a lot of data and we had a choice to choose from. This is a quick example of classic user post-install events in gaming apps in particularly. So tutorial complete, engaged user, then entering PvP mode also shows some sort of engagement. That means you liked it. You leveled up within the game. Classic. Another one, you won number of battles or you played number of battles. That's also important because that's level of engagement. And all-time classic is making an out purchase for the first time and going forward as well. So which events tell you the real story? You need to understand which events are important to analyze and include into your pivot tables any kind of reporting that you need to make sure, and how do you want to track it, how to get rid of all of those 100 events and cherry pick the most important ones. So we worked with analytics team and data engineering, and we found out, with our data scientists as well, wouldn't forget, that these are our best predictors of LTV in a couple of our games. And of course, they want retention, number of battles, first purchase, revenue, you can build some custom events if you like, some viral actions. All of these things take time. And maybe you can't wait for day one retention. It takes some time to complete a few battles. It also takes some time to make a purchase. Maybe you play for, a week until you make your first $5 purchase. Can you wait that long? Because by the time best predictors arrive, we've already spent 100,000 maybe, $500,000, I don't know. But you want to minimize the risk as much as possible. So after this, we still use best predictors for further analysis. But after this, we decided that we're going to come up with optimization indicators. They're not strong enough to be best predictors of LTV, but they are also important to enable UA campaign managers to make decisions on the fly. So we put some campaigns live, and after a few hours, we look at the results. We look at the tutorial complete percentage. So if one of the campaigns or one of the channels shows that most of the users they acquire from that channel completes tutorial by 80%, 90%, we're doing something right. And then vice versa, if we see a channel or a campaign or a country that performs really poorly and delivers tutorial complete just 10%, this is obviously the wrong decision, so we can switch it off quickly. And the rest of the events, also similar things, entering PvP mode, leveling the game, or anything like that. So what do we do next? How do we apply these events, and how do we grow? How do we, do things at a scale? We need to measure. You have a great game, you have business and product goals aligned, you have your tracking SDK selected after doing lots of research and selecting the best one for you. By the way, I'm not going to tell anyone which tracking solution is the best, because every business and infrastructure is different, and I encourage developers and companies to do your own research. You can make a comparison table, and you can compare things and see what's best for you, because what's best for us may not be best for another person out there or for another company. It's important to do your due diligence and research and make sure that you find the right fit for you. So you have the tracking solution, business goals aligned, great product, post-install indicators figured out, and potentially later down the line, best predictors of LTV. Now what? You need impactful results, and you need to measure your return on ad spend. Obviously, we want to put one bag of money and then generate 3, hopefully more, maybe 2, depends. You would like to be profitable. And you need to generate your LTV components as well. This is not our LTV formula, but these are the components. Every business has a different formula, but these are the components that we will include in our games at SpaceApe. In our purchases, plus advertising revenue, we show videos in our games. Retention rate is important per country, platform, and so on. K-factor. Quite small for us, but some of the casual games is very big, and that's something that improves your virality or other things. And for all the indie devs or even bigger devs, to remember that there are store fees. Don't look at the revenue as there's $100 of the revenue. That does not mean your revenue, because both of the stores take 30% off. So think about it as net revenue, $70 from 100. And monthly chargebacks. That means that whoever submitted a refund or anything like that. And another important thing that we do, important thing for us to make sure that we measure and compare our LTV predicted versus actual. This is demonstration from our real data, actually, from one of our games. So you see at the beginning, we launched and it was all above 100%, it was great. And then we became confident, like, yeah, let's do some testing. We launched some bunch of tests. And then you see, later down the line, it just goes down under the 100% ROI. Like, oops, okay, cool, so we need to optimize a little. So then there are 2 spikes out there. There's launch in China, launch in Japan. Our games are quite popular in East Asia. So these kind of curves do never stay stable. It always gets spiky depending on what's in the product, if you have a sale, promotion, or anything. But most of the times what UA people in our team focusing on to make sure we are above breaking even line. So that's about it, and short presentation with some key takeaways. Hopefully, I highlighted a few things. UA is a science, and it works really closely with data and product. And we need instruments. We need good instruments that work well with our internal environment, and that's how we can accelerate and improve our performance. It is always important to test. You test, learn, apply, repeat the loop. And if you can do that, test, learn, and apply those learnings at a scale and grow your business together, that's another puzzle figured out. And this is probably more for smaller developers who don't know yet that I encourage to aim high and be ambitious. It is important because if you want more and you can get only half of it, that's good. But always remember about contingency plan. Plan B, C, and D, however many you can. Because when you go live with a global launch, you need to make sure that you have a backup plan. So when the natural environment changes and you need to make quick decisions and quick changes, you can always look at the plan B and C and move fast and still be on a track to your business goals. We can't exactly predict the future, but what we can do, we can be better prepared and increase our chances of winning. You can all reach this presentation, it's publicly available. It has speakers' notes and some things, so for those who missed it. Thank you.